Hey guys, it's yours truly, InterviewClues here, and welcome to InterviewClues, the series where we interview some online peeps and talk about their hobbies and what they love to do online. So today we have a remixer, another remixer on the series, and I'll have them introduce themselves.
Hey everyone, this is Kunning Fox, known in real life as Ivan Kushnikov, and formerly known as Kamikatsu33366 on YouTube.
Hey, it's nice to see you, dude. Now, if anybody remembers the old history of InterviewClues in terms of dual mixes and mashups, you probably have seen this name pop up a couple of times in my older videos. So, it's good to finally sit down and talk with you, dude. I'm glad to see you still kicking after all this time.
The pleasure is all mine, InterviewClues.
So Kunning Fox, why don't you tell them what you do on YouTube? Or in general, really.
In general? Well, regarding the online activity, most of the time I make music covers, remixes, orchestral arrangements from Pokemon and other video game series. And in real life, I run an online shop in Russia that sells disinfecting. I forgot how they're called in English. Well, disinfectants, I think.
Yes, that's correct. Disinfectants. But yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look here. Sorry, I had to look through my notes since it's been a while since. I actually had this update planned for earlier this year, but we both ran into some busyness, so I totally forgot. So give you a second.
It's okay.
Let's see. So I guess we should get started by asking, before we get started, about talking about your history with remixing and YouTube in general. What are your top 3 or 5 favorite games of all time?
My top 3 games are, let's see, well, I'm not sure how to rank between them, but it's definitely Star Fox 64, Pokemon Pokemon Silver, and Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun.
Oh, I see. Star Fox 64, that's a popular title I know for a fact a lot of people love. And apparently Nintendo does too, considering the history of the series. Pokemon Silver. I hear a lot of people say gold. Probably because of Pearl. So, to hear someone say silver is kind of like a rare opinion, in my opinion. For some reason, everybody goes for the popular color.
Well, I had a copy of Pokemon Silver as a child, so it's naturally Pokemon Silver to me.
Hey, that's totally fair. But curious, do you actually like Lugia or do you prefer Ho-Oh?
I think I actually prefer Lugia.
Fair enough. I actually like both legendaries, but I definitely think Lugia is the cooler, literally, of the two. So, yeah. Those are some good ones. And then what did you say the last game was?
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I said, what did you say the last game was?
It was Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun. An RTS game that was released in the 90s by Westwood Studios, developers.
Oh, gotcha. I don't think I've heard of that game, but I do know Westwood Studios, I believe. I think they made a couple of other games. I just can't remember off the top of my head what they made. But that name does sound familiar. That studio name does sound familiar. So, good choices, dude. Good choices. Alright.
Thank you.
Alright. Now you can get started with talking about your YouTube career.
Alright, so I first started uploading to YouTube, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in the August of 2008. My first ever remix was Gym Leader Battle theme from Pokemon Gold and Silver, Well, it was kinda creepy, if I'm honest.
Hey, we all start somewhere, man. I understand. I completely.
That's for sure.
But yeah, 2008. You said, wow, that's a long time ago. That's near the start of YouTube's near the mid beginning of YouTube start. Actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, so, I guess, did Remix get very popular after you uploaded it, or did it take some time?
Well, I think it first started with Pokemon Remix Studio making his own remixes on Pokemon music. I think that jump started the remix, I'd say, genre on YouTube. So, I was kinda there in the beginning, but I hopped in later.
Ah, gotcha.
Pokemon Remix Studio.
Gotcha. So, what do you think? So when did you think you really, people really started to notice you more? Like, was there a point in your point during your YouTube time in the future that you thought that, wow, people really do like my stuff?
Well, let's say it's well, the beginning of 2010s, I think 2011 or 2012, somewhere in between.
Ah, gotcha. So somewhere around there, you think people start to really notice your remixes. And actually, now that I think about it, that was probably a couple of years later. That'll probably be around the time I started to notice you too. So that's pretty cool. And I think that was around the time that Pokemon was hitting in what most consider the peak. So yeah, you were doing, if I remember correctly, around that time you were doing a lot of stuff related to Huck, Gold, Soul Silver, as well as Black and White, if my knowledge serves me correct.
Yes, I'd say most of my stuff is either from Hot Gold and Soul Silver or Black and White. And recently Black and White too.
Oh yes, Black and White too as well. But yeah, those were some pretty good remixes, by the way. I'll leave a link to this, like always, in the description below. But he does some very amazing stuff. Definitely, compared to what you said back in 2008, I think you've definitely improved since then.
Well, I'd like to think so.
So, how did you get started with like remixing? What software did you use at first?
Well, it was a long time ago. First, the idea of remixing came to my head when I heard Pokemon Remixes Studios takes on music from Pokemon, and I was really sad that music from the Pokemon anime wasn't released officially. Well, you know, like Battle theme from Diamond and Pearl, some other themes from Pokemon Gold and Silver. Well, they were released somewhere in mid-2010s, but at that time it was a long time to go.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, yeah. So, I was saying that first of all, I used some weird remix software from Micromania journals. Then I discovered a software called Cubase, a digital audio workshop, and ever since then I'm working on it to make my remixes and covers and arrangements. Nice.
I don't think I've heard too many people use the software called Cubase. I'm sure for a fact that if I talk to some of my other people who actually do remixes, that they probably have heard of it, but I personally have never heard of that software all that much. I do know for a fact it exists, but I haven't heard of it. So, is it very good software? Do you really like it?
Well, it does its job and I'm used to it, so I'm can't say that digital audio workshops nowadays are that different from each other.
Yeah.
So I'd say whichever you are comfortable with, you should use that.
Definitely, definitely. So, what do you think is like some of your best remixes that you've ever done?
Well, I'd say Big Boss theme from Yoshi's Island. It was very metal-like back in the day.
Oh yeah, I did notice that when I was listening to it. I was like, wow, this is a lot of metal for a Yoshi, for a remix from a Yoshi title of things.
So I really like my live orchestra arrangements, like from the upcoming album called Johto Odyssey. My live recording of Trainer Battle theme from Black and White 2.
Oh, nice, nice. Wait, that one was live?
Yes, I basically hired some musicians on Fiverr, and they performed each part separately on the microphone, and then I mixed it all together in Cubase.
What the heck, man? That's really impressive.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Well, is there any remix outside your 2008 one that you think you could definitely improve on compared to back then?
Well, basically all of my covers, I think the sky's the limit for the perfection.
Hey.
But I'd really like to return to cover Gym Leader Battle theme from Gold and Silver once more. I think that needs a refresh.
I see. Yeah, some of your covers could use a little bit of a update. No offense. But that one in particular, yeah, I think that one sounds like it could really use one. Is the Gym Leader Battle theme from Gold and Silver one of your favorites from the Pokemon series?
Well, let's still say that the first place still comes to the Trainer Battle theme from the same games. Well, first of all, it's really long and it's dynamic and the melody is nice. Well, it's just one of my, well, let's say it's top one.
Well,
my favorite.
Well, fair enough. Let's see. Oh, here's a question. So recently I've noticed that you've started to put some of your music up on streaming services. Has that been a little harder for you?
Well, let's say when I first started it was quite a gamble, especially with the bigger projects like back to Unova, the Black and White Pokemon Remix album cover, to be more exact. Well, that was more of the gamble because back then Sounddrop asked for a payment of $10 per one track so that they could release on the streaming platforms. But I'd say the risk paid off, and it definitely jump-started my orchestral career. Now I am able to record the orchestral albums, like the Symphony of Ocarina that was 2 years ago, and this year Johto Odyssey.
Oh, that's right. Right, I totally forgot. I nearly forgot about Johto Odyssey. You mentioned that earlier. Yeah, for those who don't know, he's working on a brand new upcoming Johto remix album called Johto Odyssey, which honestly I'm very excited for.
Yes, I'm very excited to share it with all of you.
Well,
the wait is, well, getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. Let's see. So do you? Is there any games that you would like to cover in the future in terms of remixing? I'm sure there's quite a few.
Oh, there's quite a few. Well, Final Fantasy VIII has received so much love from its original composer, from the Square Enix sound team. I think I would like to tackle it some more in the future, especially in the live orchestra format. Final Fantasy IX, Pokemon, well, maybe some tracks from Pokemon Black and White, I don't know, maybe back to Unova live orchestra version, maybe. Music from Ruby and Sapphire, and Pokemon 2. Maybe some from the newer games, though to be honest I don't really like the style they're going for in the later games.
Hey, totally fair on that one. I haven't been feeling them lately either.
Well, I honestly hope that they will someday come to the conclusion that live orchestra recordings for the orchestra parts would elevate the music more.
Oh,
it would be worth it.
Oh yeah, totally. I hope someday they do that too. Also, I wish the Pokemon Orchestra in general would come back. Those were some, that was a pretty cool tool. When I saw some videos on YouTube, I was kind of jealous. I didn't get to go.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I was actually just talking about the Pokemon Orchestra that they had back in the day when they were doing a live tour of it, and I thought that was actually pretty awesome to see an orchestra actually play the music for once, since Pokemon's really never. Since Pokemon really at that time didn't really have a orchestra stuff. In fact, they just did a concert recently with some more orchestra music from some of the earlier games and some of the recent games too. So I kind of wish that they would do that more often, but oh well.
Yeah, oh well. I do wish to go someday for the Pokemon Orchestra to hear the music played live.
Oh, that would be. Well, I wish you the best of luck, good, so that you get to do that.
Thank you.
Well,
I'm not sure with the current situation in my country and in the world, but I think it will sort it out sooner or later.
Oh yes, totally. Let's see. Now speaking of other titles that you'd like to cover, is there any particular Nintendo games outside of the Pokemon franchise that you would like to eventually cover?
Well, let's see, I've already covered Super Mario, but I'd like to do more covers from the games, maybe even recent ones. Well, I'd like to cover Zelda some more, though to be honest, Symphony of Ocarina was a complete failure because of payouts. But I still want to do some more, if possible.
Oh no! I totally think Zelda would still be a good choice. But I would be interested to see what you would do with Breath of the Wild style. I know there's not that many tracks in Breath of the Wild in terms of music, but there still is plenty of soundtracks. I think that it would work in your style, especially some of the boss themes.
Yeah, like Iga themes maybe, Koga theme maybe, or Ganon fights, or even some from Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yes.
They really have nice music.
Oh yes, very much for sure. Let's see. Now I know you've only done one Sonic track, but would you like to do more from the Sonic series? Because he has a whole bunch of different styles. So it would be interesting to see if you tackled any of the more popular Sonic games, or even some of the innovative ones. Do you think Sonic is in your future too?
Well, I'm not sure about near future, but I'd like to cover proper Sonic the Hedgehog themes, well, instead of the meme ones.
Yeah. For those who don't know, he actually did a bit of a meme post way back in the day, posting what started to look like modern Robotnik theme, but it was actually the classic Robotnik theme from The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, so it would be nice to see some proper Sonic tracks. But that one was good too.
It was pretty good, but not really in my style.
Well, if you had a choice, what Sonic game would you like to cover in the future? If you had a choice of what to do for a proper Sonic track.
Well, let's say the classic themes like Green Hill Zone is definitely a go for that. I don't remember how the theme for the first level in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is called. Mushroom Hill Zone? Or is it from the third game?
Mushroom Hill's actually...
Sorry, I forgot.
Hey, you actually talked to a Sonic fan, so I can help you. Mushroom Hill's actually from Sonic and Knuckles. Knuckles, that's the fourth game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the fourth one. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would like to see you tackle some more Sonic tracks. Now, is there any particular other Mario games that you would like to also cover? I know you said Odyssey and the others, but is there anyone in particular that really like resonates with you that you've either played or just want to get more noticeable in the Mario community?
Well, let's see. Well, back in the day, Super Mario World and Yoshi's Island were my favorites. Well, Yoshi's Island is technically the Super Mario game, being called Super Mario World 2 and such. So maybe a proper album for Super Mario World, or maybe even Yoshi's Island would be nice.
Oh, yes. Super Mario World has more covers than I can count, but outside of a select set of themes for Yoshi's Island, I don't see that much for Yoshi's Island, which kind of surprises me considering that's literally Yoshi's first solo game ever. Well, okay, technically Mario's still part of it, but you get what I mean.
Well, I could always call the meme route and remake the kazoo theme from some of my DS Yoshi's Island game, or yeah, I don't really remember. The one with the kazoo.
Now let's see. Now, is there any? Have you done any original tracks, like totally original arrangement, totally original, not related to any type of game type tracks?
There was quite a few back in the day, and nowadays I'm working on a soundtrack for the fan game called Forêt Éternelle. Well, I'm not sure it's the proper French pronunciation, but essentially it translates to Eternal Forest, and is a pretty beautiful Pokemon fan game set in Kanto region.
Oh, I see. I don't think I've heard of that one, and I stay up to date with all the Pokemon community, so I'm surprised that one slipped through my radar. Well, thanks for letting me know. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on it now, especially since you're making the music for it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I definitely think that you should definitely do more original stuff too. I've seen quite a few people go off the beaten path and do some original stuff and get well received, so I definitely would love to see a totally original soundtrack from totally original track music album or something like that. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm planning to make a video game on mobile devices. Some sort of the Arkanoid, brick-breaking clone. Well, I think I will, well, if it ever comes to fruition, I would definitely make a custom soundtrack for it.
Oh, definitely, dude. I wish you the best of luck if that ever does come to fruition.
Thank you, thank you.
No problem. Okay, so I guess let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh, so as an artist, how's your experience been? Is it hard, or do you think it's easy being an artist? What's your experience overall being like someone who's done remixes and original compositions? What's your experience overall being a music artist?
Being a music artist is more of a hobby of mine instead of being a full-time job. So I'm trying to not be too serious about it. But usually, well, when I did long hiatus, like for half a year, it was very hard to come back to it. Thinking, well, this can certainly suck, this is too hard. And this theme is too long, why did I choose it? But it usually just looks hard, and when you're, well, actually making it, well, turns out alright.
Hey, I can totally understand that. And long hiatus, yeah, that can kind of sometimes hurt the motivation, but I do think that it really... I think sometimes when you take a long hiatus from anything related to YouTube, it tends to get very hard to get back into the rhythm of it, especially because you forget, oh yeah, I had to actually put a lot more effort into it. So I understand that completely. But I do think that it is good to take a break sometimes, because doing stuff like this for long can burn you out.
Yes, that's for certain. Breaks are essential for any kind of work.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. So, is there anything that you wish was easier about being a music artist? Like, is there any part that you wish was easier, or do you think that all the experience that you have has helped you?
Well, I sometimes wish there was a magic button that would make anything that you think of, well, just at the blink of the eye. Maybe the AI will someday come to that point. That would probably leave me with no job.
Well, I kinda wish there was a magic button that would let me do record whatever game I wanted to in an instant without having to play it, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen anytime soon. But yeah, I honestly, I always like saying this, but when you make your thing sometimes, you start to realize that maybe it is it worth it, and then when you put it out and it actually gets views, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it's totally worth it. I'm sure you get that satisfaction feeling too when you upload any of your remixes and stuff. Yeah,
that's for certain. Especially when you get the first comments on your new music, and everyone, no, mostly everyone loves it.
Yes, I definitely think so too. So, yeah, honestly, dude, I think you have a very big path ahead of you as a remixer, and even someone making original tracks. So I really do think you have a good future ahead of you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For your kind words.
Oh, you're welcome. Let me think. So this is kind of a theoretical question, but if you could make the next Pokemon game, what would you make it?
Let's see. It would definitely be open world. It's the craze these days, and I think the properly made open world Pokemon game would be great. I would focus on graphics more. Maybe not the best graphics in the entire world, but at least comparable to the competitors.
Fair enough.
Definitely would, yeah. And definitely it would have live orchestra music, well, where appropriate. So I know that many people love electronic music, and it's sometimes appropriate for the games to use electronic soundtracks. So yeah.
Oh,
Maybe some rock music.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Rock music is very good. I am not saying that, guys, because I'm a Sonic fan, but I have no bias here. I like rock music in general too, but yeah, I definitely think so too. Now, would you set this in current region or a new region?
Well, it definitely would be a new region, maybe based on my home country, Russia. Maybe some post-Soviet country. I think there would be some interesting cultural things and historical things to focus on.
Oh yes,
region.
Oh, definitely. I definitely agree with that. That it would be interesting to see a Russia-based Pokemon region in the future. I mean, we do get snow-based stuff in the series, but it would be nice to see a Russian-based region, maybe at one point or the other.
Well, I'm honestly a bit afraid of the new Game Freak running things. I'm not sure for now.
Oh, fair enough, dude. Fair enough. But yeah, I definitely think that that's a very good vision for a Pokemon game in the future. Whether that become an official game or a fan game maybe in the future, I would love to see that come to fruition. But I definitely think live orchestra music would definitely be something I would like to see in a Pokemon game for at least once. Just once. it would.
I certainly agree.
What'd you say?
I certainly agree.
Okay, let's see. So if there was anything you would tell to anybody who is starting to do remixes or covers or original music, what would be your advice?
Well, my advice would be the same one I would give to Orchestra back in the day. Focus on, first on quality, and second, making more remixes. As when you make more stuff, you are getting used to it, you are training your ears, your skills as the arranger. You certainly would need to learn music theory, though it's shameful to admit, but I'm not really that educated in the music theory. I'm trying to educate myself more in the recent years, but I still have a long way to go.
Hey, that's totally fair, dude. That's totally fair. I do find music theory interesting myself. I just don't know that much about it. But I'm starting to learn more thanks to some videos on YouTube. So definitely, really think I could learn a thing or two more about music theory. Just because my name is InterviewClues.
Yes, I'm sure there's a very good music theory channel. If I'm not mistaken, it's called 8-Bit Music Theory, or just 8-Bit Theory. Well, it focuses on the video game stuff, and it talks about how, for instance, composer Masuda Junichi for Pokemon franchise composes his battle music using specific chords, specific modes, and specific harmonies to get what he needs from the track to inside the specific emotion.
Nice. I'll have to take a look at that. Let's see. So outside of your so why don't you once again reiterate some of your upcoming projects so people know what stuff you're kind of working on, if you want to talk about them, that is.
Sure thing. Well, first of all, the first release of this month, of September, will be Back to the Unova 2, Volume 2, releasing on September 8th. Will contain 17 tracks, 16 and one variation of the track, to be more exact. Next will be the official release of the Friend Battle theme from Pokemon X and Y that I made back in June and just forgot to release. And finally, the Johto Odyssey will be released on September 22nd, complete with the video premiere, with the orchestra the video recording of the orchestra performing these themes.
Dang.
So yeah.
Wow, wow, those are some pretty cool things. So you guys heard them. Be sure to check out all of those, and all of those will be available on most of the streaming services.
Yes, they will be available on pretty much, yeah. Well, on all main streaming platforms and many international ones from India and China and recently Africa. Well, sadly, my music distributor is no longer working with Russian music platforms. Shame on them. But yeah.
Gotcha.
At least the main ones are will be definitely available there.
Well, that's good to hear. Yeah. Well, to do yourself a favor, guys, and please add his stuff. I'll leave a link in the description below to the respective your guys' choice of platform, where you can find them. I'll obviously add your stuff to my Apple Music, so I can listen to your stuff when it launches, because I do keep an eye on that. Yeah. So I guess we're getting to the end of the interview. So. Why don't you tell the fans where they can find you?
Well, let's see. I'm mostly active on YouTube, on my YouTube channel called Kunning Fox. Well, you can always write me on Discord. The link is in the YouTube bio profile. You can also find me on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook. VK if you're using Russian platforms. Yeah. Oh. And I think there's a couple more options.
Well, that's good. That's good, dude. I'll leave a link to all those in the description below. And I just want to say thank you so much again for coming on to InterviewClues. I really enjoyed having you on here. It's good to finally talk to you after just admiring your stuff for so long, and I just want to say thank you, because you're one of the reasons why I'm still using YouTube today, because your music is some of the best I've heard. So thank you.
Thank you too for having me today and for your kind words, and I really hope that my work continues to inspire you and others to more interesting ideas and works and stuff.
I agree. But yeah, that's all for today's InterviewClues, guys. Thank you again, Kunning Fox, for coming aboard. Please, if you guys want to see our previous interview, be sure to click on the card up here. And then you guys can take a look at the previous interview, which I did for the channel. For right now, this is yours truly, InterviewClues, signing out, and I will see you guys later. Bye!
Bye!